After last video, I have been perfectly predicting this short-term Bitcoin top here, and now I want to be discussing what I think is going to be happening next, since we're right now once again starting to be breaking above this major downward sloping resistance line. I want to be discussing what is next for Bitcoin, talking about the CME gap, talking about my price targets, and many more important charts here. So without any further ado, don't forget to watch again this video till the end, because I will be discussing a lot of information that you do really want to be knowing about. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again snap off that like button back above 1,000 likes. It will be highly appreciated, and let me jump straight away in towards the content. And first of all, I want to be pointing out that 2 days ago I made a video, of course, about this rising wedge pattern, and that we were of course creating somewhat of a bearish divergence on the bigger perspective, and that it was likely to see somewhat of a small cool off before pushing up higher. And that is exactly what we got here. Bitcoin of course created that rising wedge pattern. We broke below it, and then we saw a slight little drop towards the downside. I mean, it isn't all too big here, but we did saw a 3% correction towards the downside, which is of course still quite big if you're in of course leverage trading positions. So of course Bitcoin came down here and exactly bounced from that level where it previously also bounced from, which was the $95,800 level. Ever since we touched that level, we bounced back towards the upside, and now actually we're even starting to be breaking above the downward sloping resistance line which we have been creating, and actually got rejected from already more than 4 times in a row right now here. So this is honestly once again a very great development for Bitcoin. It is also Monday again here, and you do know that on the Mondays we have these ETF issuers buying again here, and there's usually way more volatility than over the course of a weekend. Also, we have been creating a CME gap over the course of this weekend, which was $98,891. And like we know that for the most of these CME gaps, Bitcoin tend to be hovering around that price, and if not, on the Monday we're going to fill it up. So at least the consensus is that we're going to come back towards $99,000 before seeing any other major move in the market. Because just like last weekend, we created a CME gap on the lower side, and then just moments after we have created that CME gap, we just fill it up again here, and then Bitcoin does its thing again here. So it is actually quite likely to expect something similar to this is once again going to be playing out for Bitcoin. Also on the imminent short term, we're creating somewhat of a bull flag pattern actually on this chart right now here, and we're starting to be breaking above the downward sloping resistance line. But there's just one thing I really am paying clear attention towards right now, and that is that on that $100,000 towards 102k level, guys, there's an immense sell wall set up here. There's a huge amounts of sells set up around that level, and honestly, I was also expecting this to be playing out here, because many people, they will just take some profits off the table as Bitcoin is going to be hitting $100,000, because $100,000 has been the targets for many people right now for the last, what is it, like 4 to 8 years here, and people have always set up those limit orders, and that is why it is likely to expect that we're not at least going to be finding some resistance around $100,000, but also that it is going to be difficult to be breaking above of. And usually whenever we see such a big amounts of sell orders around such a level, we're just going to be trading something like this here for Bitcoin. We're going to be consolidating, clearing the sell orders if we do have enough buy pressure. So something like this could be very likely to be playing out for Bitcoin. But I do want you to know here, $100,000 is a psychological level, and clearly on the charts, we can see that there is a huge amount of resistance being built up around that level. Then as well, we created a major bearish divergence on Bitcoin. This bearish divergence has right now played out here. It could potentially be even worse here, but to be very honest, I still believe that we're quite okay at this moment of time here, since we already have seen a slight little rejection right now for Bitcoin. So let's see how that is going to be playing out here. But anyways, we are currently still looking at that major bearish divergence while Bitcoin is trading around $100,000, which is indeed quite a dangerous signal if you would ask me here. Then this week as well, we got the highest weekly candle close ever for Bitcoin, and if we're going to be looking at the search terms crypto, we're starting to see that we are clearly pushing up higher again here with retail interest. And as retail interest is returning, and personally I am really feeling the retail returning as well, because I was at the birthday party, and yeah, people spoke to me about Bitcoin like they've never had before here. So I really feel retail is returning, and we can see it from all the data points that retail is returning right now here. Also on the weekly time frame, we can start to see that the cycle of this Bitcoin bull market is likely still to last for another 300 to 400 days here, and that is of course something I am very excited about, because usually usually the most amount of gains, they tend to come at this end stage of this exponential rally right here. And after that, whenever this period is over, it's probably going to get followed by a bear market of about 385 days here. So whenever that is going to be happening, I will be preparing you for that exact market condition as well. At the same time, the Bitcoin reserves on the exchanges is still decreasing quite rapidly. And guys, if you right now want to be trading Bitcoin or any altcoins, because Blofin is the best exchange to do it, because right now on Blofin, you don't can only trade Bitcoin, but you can trade all these altcoins that are also fairly new. They just got the hype phase, and then they started to already get listed on Blofin. And that way you can catch the most amount of gains and you're not exit liquidity with trading. So guys, if you're interested in that, don't forget to check it out in the link description of today's video, because if you right now go to the highest link below of today's video, you can sign up an account to Blofin and get a $10,000 deposit bonus. So if this sounds interesting for you, don't forget to check it out. But if you want to be trading this cycle, the best way to do it is on Blofin, because you can trade without any KYC. You can claim some insane deposit bonuses. And on top of that, they have the most altcoins listed over there. So if you're interested in trading, check it out right now. Further on, we can start to see that, yes, Bitcoin on the bigger perspective, on that Fibonacci extension level, basically the next major resistance for me where I'm looking at is going to be for sure that $102,000 level for Bitcoin. Then further on, if we're going to be looking at the Fibonacci on Bitcoin, and if I'm looking at the extension levels, the 1.618 here is the next major level of resistance and has always been one of the biggest levels of resistance in a bull market. And honestly, the next level is $102,000, and I really expect that 100k we're probably going to be breaching through it, but 102k is going to be also a major level where I will be looking closely towards, because that level is most likely going to be providing a lot of resistance for the Bitcoin price action. Further on, we can see that on the monthly time frame, we're starting to be breaking out. We're having that continuation, and all in all, what we're looking at right now here is not only a Bitcoin bull market, but also that altcoin bull market is about to get started. And of course, I've discussed it many times before that I do believe that Bitcoin dominance is about to be having a major correction here, since we're creating a rising wedge pattern, and more importantly, since the timing is exactly forecasting that this altcoin season is about to start right now here. So what we're looking at next year is most likely phase 2 or phase 3 is basically where Ethereum and these other large caps are going to significantly take some ground here up here in the market, and that is basically expected to be happening any moment right now here. So I really also believe that Ethereum is still quite a good cop. I mean, to be very honest, if I'm looking at Ethereum, it is right now starting to be breaking out of this major downward slope and resistance line, and I do believe this is actually quite a good trade, which we are looking at right now for Ethereum. So very excited for that entire market. We're seeing that also the entire crypto market cap is of course breaking above all-time highs here. We're just at the starting point of this major bull market cycle, and we're of course creating this major inverse head and shoulders pattern on the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10 here. So big gains are about to get realized, and this is honestly one of the most worst periods to be fading the markets. I mean, yes, I do want to be pointing out that we have that big sell wall around $100,000, but the moment whenever we clear that, guys, there is nothing holding us back right now for Bitcoin. So this is it for me in today's video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to slap on that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.